Good morning students. Welcome to online learning program of Alchemy School. Students, we are learning 8th standard science chapter number 2, microorganisms, friend and foes. Students, till now in this chapter we have learned that how microorganisms are useful for us and how microorganisms are bad for us. What are the problems they are causing in plants, animals and humans. Now today we will learn another topic, that is nitrogen fixation. Before starting the topic, I would like to tell you why we are studying nitrogen fixation in the chapter Microorganisms, Friend and Foes. Students, nitrogen is a type of gas which is present in our atmosphere in a very much large quantity, and this is one of the very important gas which is very useful for us. But one problem is there. The human body and the animal's body cannot directly absorb the atmospheric nitrogen, and we cannot directly utilize this nitrogen in the form of gas which is already present into the atmosphere. So what happens, this nitrogen, because it is very useful for us, we are using it in a different style, or you can say that the microorganisms are converting this atmospheric nitrogen for us into some another components which will be very useful for us. For example, I will explain you that this is a plant. This process of nitrogen fixation happens in those plants which are highly rich in protein, and the group of these plants which are highly rich in protein are called leguminous plants. Leguminous plants means peas, chanas, moong, all the plants and all the pulses which are rich in protein, they all called leguminous plant. So the process of nitrogen fixation is happening in leguminous group of plants which is highly rich in protein. So what happens, students? These are the leguminous plants. For example, you can consider it is a methi plant. Methi is highly rich in protein. In these plants, in the roots, there is some special structure, the round ball-like structure which is called root nodules. I am repeating once again, students. These round ball-like structures which are present into the roots of the leguminous plants are called root nodules. Now what happens? There is a particular group of bacteria which is called Rhizobium bacteria. Rhizobium is an example of that bacteria, and cyanobacteria. Rhizobium bacteria used to stay in these root nodules of the leguminous plants. I am repeating once again, Rhizobium bacteria used to stay in the root nodules of the leguminous plant. Now this bacteria is having a special power that it absorbs the nitrogen from the atmosphere. This Rhizobium bacteria absorbs the atmospheric nitrogen, and this Rhizobium bacteria used to convert this nitrogen gas in the form of nitrate and nitrite. After doing some reaction in the root nodules, this Rhizobium bacteria used to convert atmospheric nitrogen in the form of nitrate and nitrite. Then this nitrate and nitrite are available into the roots, and when the roots of the plants will absorb the other nutrients, with that other nutrients only, the plants will also absorb the nitrate and nitrite, which is indirectly having the presence of atmospheric nitrogen. And when this nitrate and nitrite will be absorbed by the plants, and this nitrate and nitrite will be circulated in the plant body, then the plant will utilize that nitrate and nitrite and will convert it into protein. And when that nitrate and nitrite will converted into protein and distributed in the whole plant, so when we will eat that plant in the form of vegetables and pulses, then that protein will enter into our human body and gives us a good nutrition. So indirectly, the atmospheric nitrogen has utilized in a different way with the help of some bacteria, and that nitrogen is utilized to form the protein, and that protein is used by us as a nutrient. So students, this particular process is called nitrogen fixation, where the nitrogen is fixed into the root nodules of the leguminous plants by the help of Rhizobium bacteria, and this nitrate and nitrite, which is converted by Rhizobium bacteria, will utilized by the plants or absorbed through the roots of the plants and circulated in the plant body for the formation of protein. And when this plant will be eaten up by the humans and the animals, then we will get a high amount of protein. And this protein is produced by the atmospheric nitrogen. So atmospheric nitrogen is very useful for us, and this nitrogen, we don't have capacity to absorb this nitrogen and directly convert it into protein in the human body. That's why some group of bacteria like Rhizobium and Cyanobacteria is having this capacity. That's why these bacteria are staying into the root nodules of the leguminous plants. And the students, the relationship of the bacteria and the leguminous plants is called symbiotic relationship. In other words, you can also call it is a mutual relationship. Mutual relationship in the sense, this bacteria is also not getting any harm and this plant is also not getting any harm. Plant is giving shelter to this bacteria, and in return, bacteria is giving some useful components from the atmospheric nitrogen to absorb to the plants, and the plant is converting into the protein. So this relationship is called symbiotic relationship, or you can say mutual relationship, where both the organisms are not getting any harm, both are getting benefited. It is a kind of give and take relationship where the plant has given shelter to the bacteria and bacteria has given some nutrients to the plants from the atmospheric nitrogen. So this is called symbiotic relationship. So students, today as a homework, you will write in your notebook the process of nitrogen fixation. So in next class, we will again study about nitrogen fixation, which is used in the nitrogen cycle. Till then, stay safe and stay at your home. Thank you.